Have you ever looked up at a roller coaster and thought, there is no way I'm getting on that? The first time you see it, it seems so terrifying and almost impossible. You're gripped by the fear of what might happen, the unknown. You see, I once stood at similar crossroads in my own life where fear almost held me back from an incredible ride. It all began with minor things such as presenting in front of my class or contributing in group projects. But all of these small tasks are what led me to achieve a huge one. The first time I was given the opportunity to present in front of a group of senior professionals, I felt like I was staring at the steepest roller coaster imaginable. I did not feel prepared to take on that mission. And what must have they been thinking, desiring to burden such responsibility onto the shoulders of a young, inexperienced fellow? Well, they were looking for someone with fresh perspectives, someone with a bold, clear voice, and someone capable of communicating efficiently. It wasn't about being young or inexperienced, but the ability to handle the challenge. And I had been chosen to lead that role. I had been selected to do a presentation of a project regarding inventory management, something that is very crucial for efficiency at operations at my father's company. This means it wasn't a presentation of a talk, but a representation of an entire department, actually changing complex data into a message that would best resonate with the board and senior managers. The responsibility weighed on my shoulders. Like going up the chains of a roller coaster, each step felt heavier than the last. My mind could not stop. What if I mess up? Or what if I don't understand the questions? These are the same fears that keep us on the ground, holding back from an incredible ride. And so I told myself, there is no going back now. The safety bar had been adjusted, and all I could do was sit back and enjoy the ride. And then it was upon me in an instant. That instant where the roller coaster reaches its peak and is about to drop. Standing before those professionals felt like the peak of that roller coaster ride. My heart was pounding, but I kept pushing forward. The words came out, the data was shared, and as I spoke, it felt like the roller coaster's twists and turns. Each moment was unpredictable yet exhilarating. And when I finally finished, I did not feel perfect, but I felt accomplished. Not because my presentation was flawless, but because I faced my fear head on and kept going. That was my growth moment, my ride. That's where I learned that oftentimes, within our greatest growth areas, great opportunities can also be found. And it wasn't until then that I realized something profound. Success doesn't depend on avoiding the ride. Rather, it means you're bold enough to ride it. Take a step back and reflect upon your life, where fear may have held you back from something, the chances you almost didn't take, the opportunities in life which almost slipped away because the fear of failure seems so overwhelming. It's that very fear you feel, that tightness in your chest, which is standing between you and your next level of growth. And the kicker is that more often than not, fear is usually unfounded. We expect the worst and it paralyzes us when in fact, what we expect is far from what actually occurred. The anticipation is way more intense than the real experience. We get so caught up in the idea of the ride and the fear of what could go wrong that we forget to enjoy the potential of what could go right. In fact, once we take that first step, once we sit in that seat and allow the ride to begin, we can't help but be swept up in the excitement. Yes, it's terrifying. Yes, it's beyond our control, but it's also exhilarating. And it's in those moments of uncertainty that we grow most. According to the American Psychological Association, fear of failure often prevents individuals from pursuing career advancements or trying something new. This fear is cited as one of the main reasons people stay in unfulfilling jobs and avoid career advancements. For me, that moment before the plunge was the perfect example of this. I could have backed down, avoided the fear, but the potential loss of opportunity was far greater than the discomfort of the risk. I knew that if I didn't face my fears, I would lose opportunities which engrave my future. But if you never take that first step, if you never face your fears, you'll never know what you're missing on. Think about it. There are people who stay in line for a ride only to decide last minute to opt for something simpler. The Ferris wheel, maybe. It's safe, it's calm, but is it thrilling? Not really. You get on, take a slow turn, and get off exactly where you started. But the roller coaster ride? That's where the magic happens. That's where excitement, growth, and true adventure lies. Remember when your mind goes to not facing your fears? You're choosing the safety route over the thrilling one. You're sitting comfortably without experiencing the full rush of what you're truly capable of. So the next time an opportunity presents itself to you, and that feeling of fear starts to crawl in, you ask yourself, do I want to stay in my comfort zone? Or do I want to take that leap of faith, face my fears, and experience something bigger? Something worth the ride. Because I promise you, it's always worth it.